Hello, everybody. Kieran Stack here. Welcome back to another installment of the Service Advisor 101 support guide, if you will. So, a blueprint to becoming a high performing service advisor. Thanks again for joining me. And we're moving on towards the end of element 6. So, let me share here about how high performing service advisors operate well in a team. Now, you will notice that I've placed a little bit of an asterisk beside this point. Now, I'm sure you would agree that high-performing service advisors don't always operate well in a team. Leaders lead teams. Leaders set the culture inside teams. We all know that every service advisor is different, but the great author Jim Rohn says that we become the average of the 5 people we surround ourselves with. I bring this up as if a high performer is surrounded by service advisors who simply don't care, then this high performing service advisor has simply got 2 options. They will find employment elsewhere where they will thrive, or they will stay and become average. It is up to the leader to set the tone, expectations, and standard in their department. If the environment meets the standards of the high performer, watch them grow and achieve continuously, along with lifting their colleagues up to the new level of performance. So this is how what high performers do. They can multiply the people around them. But again, my asterisk is relating to the quality of the leadership. If a leader defines a culture of high performance, again, the opposite to high performance is mediocrity. If they accept mediocrity around service advisors not caring, about service advisors not having attention to detail, about service advisors not offering a guest-like experience, service advisors not letting customers walk out disappointed or upset, letting customers down, not doing as they should do, this is where your high performing service advisor will leave. They will depart. So they've ended up in an organization that doesn't mirror the same values as they have. And in many ways, if your department is like this, you need help. You need help because, again, the tail can't wag the dog. What does that mean? It means that the culture needs to be defined by you, not the people running the asylum. Okay, it's important that we have clear motivations, standards in place, and the culture does not deteriorate. It needs to be led by a confident leader. And like I said, this service advisor will likely notice this pretty quickly, and they will either go, this isn't what I was expecting, I'm getting the hell out of here, I'm looking for another job, or they will stay and they will flounder, they will drop to the level of the people around them. Again, Jim Rohn says you become the average of the 5 people you surround yourself with. If you want to become a high performer, you need to surround yourself with high performers. Because if you surround yourself with people who don't care, guess what's going to happen to you? You're going to go, do you know what? No one else here cares, so I'm not going to care either. Again, is that for everyone? No. You'd either Control-Alt-Delete the hell out of there, or you're going to stick around and become mediocre. Do the former, not the latter. Leaders, reading, listening, or watching, it's important that you are the one that's setting the standards in your department. If you're letting mediocrity sink in, if you're letting your service advisors get away with just the simple stuff, you need to fix it. You need to fix it. The principals, if you're letting this happen and because your service manager is not equipped, or your service advisor doesn't have the standards that they need to have, you need to call it out. You need to recognize it and stop it. You need to nip it in the bud and not let it occur. Again, the level of customer service that our customers are expecting in 2024 is a lot more than it was 10 years ago. And in 3 or 4 years' time, guess what? It'll likely be a lot more then. We need to be preparing for that all the time. So we all know that every service advisor is different, but it's important that we don't let our standards drop. So let's reflect on this in the reflection page. How do you rate your ability to operate well in a team? If you are a team-oriented individual, then perhaps there's opportunities for you to go, yeah, I operate really well in this team, and this is something that I'm good at. Fantastic. Or if you are a bit of a lone soldier, or you're someone who a bit selfish maybe, you don't operate well in a team, or you're someone who's like, oh, I noticed that their standards are not as strong as mine, and you just become that lone wolf. It can be a lonely place. It can be a really, really lonely place. because I've been there. I've been in a dealership where I'm the one with the high standards, and they're the ones who are like, nah, don't worry about it. Nah, don't worry about that. No, we don't even do that here. No, that's optional. Why are you doing it that way? Like we don't do that we don't do that here. Like, be the best. Be the best. Stand out. Do not drop your level of enthusiasm. If the team or the leader in particular is not warming up to your endeavors or your standards, move on. That's the advice I have for you. Move on. So, what are three things that you can do today to increase this rating? Again, I would work closely with your manager on this. Hey, boss. Hey, manager. How do you rate me in terms of how I operate as a team member? And they'll tell you. Again, you may recognize it, but they'll recognize it more. I can promise you that, because, well, it's their job to recognize these things. They might say, yeah, listen, you seem a little bit selfish over here in terms of how you operate. I've noticed that all your jobs are going out at 2 o'clock, 2 o'clock service advisor. I noticed that you bank up all these repair orders. I noticed that you're very selfish when it comes to 5 o'clock and helping people. You're out of here by 5:30 on the dot. Like, there's opportunities for you to share the love with your colleagues. However, I am going to say this: don't drop your standards. High performing service advisors, do not drop your standards, because if you do, they're very hard to get back up. I mean that because I've been there. I've made that mistake whereby I'm like, no, I'll help these guys. I'll help this guy to cost his jobs. No, I'll help this guy to bring cars around for him. And guess what they're going? Guess what happened? They used to put ROs on my desk for me to cost. Whilst I'm doing my own 10 or 12 jobs a day, they want me to still help them. They want me to go, hey, can you bring number 4 around for me? Hey, can you bring number 17 around for me? I'm like, I'm kind of busy here, mate. I've got work to do as well. So just be careful of that. They do not take advantage of you. This one in particular is critical that you get your manager involved in this so that they can identify some of the opportunities to increase your rating and to help you get better results. That is it for this session. Any questions on it? Email me, Kieran at service101.com.au. Trust you're getting value. We've only got another 5 of these to go. Again, the book is available on Amazon or directly through myself. If you haven't got a copy, what are you doing? Get yourself a copy. And if you need one, you know where to find me. Okay, that is it for today's session. Thank you, and I'll see you on the next one.